What if there was a place on Earth where time slows down, where emerald rice terraces glow under golden sunlight, where ancient temples sit silently between volcanoes and oceans, and where every sunrise feels like a new beginning? Welcome to Bali, an island that doesn't just exist on maps, but lives in the imagination of millions who dream of escaping the ordinary. But here's what most travelers never realize: Bali is not just a paradise. It's a paradox. A place of peaceful spirituality and overwhelming tourism. Of ancient traditions and modern digital nomads. Of silence and chaos happening just a few kilometers apart. And today, we're going deeper than postcards and travel brochures. We're uncovering the real Bali. The Bali most tourists never truly see. So before we begin, ask yourself, if you had just 72 hours in paradise, would you spend it chasing beaches? Or would you explore the soul of an island that feels almost unreal? Let's begin. 1. The island of gods. Bali is often called the island of the gods. Not because of mythology alone, but because spirituality is not something you visit here. It is something you live inside. From the moment you arrive, you notice something unusual. Small woven baskets filled with flowers sit on sidewalks, car dashboards, and temple steps. These are offerings, daily gifts to the spirits believed to protect the island. In Bali, spirituality is not hidden inside buildings. It spills into the streets. But behind this peaceful harmony lies a deeper story. Bali's culture is rooted in Balinese Hinduism, a unique blend of Hindu beliefs, local traditions, and ancestral worship. Unlike anywhere else in the world, life here is guided by balance, good and evil, light and darkness, chaos and order. This philosophy is called Rwa Binida, the idea that opposites must coexist. And nowhere is this more visible than in the island's temples. One of the most iconic is Tanah Lot, a sea temple sitting on a rocky cliff, surrounded by crashing waves. At sunset, it doesn't feel real. It feels like a painting that forgot to end. But Bali is not frozen in time. It is constantly evolving. And nowhere is that evolution more visible than in its cultural heart. 2. Ubud, the spiritual heartbeat. Deep in the central highlands lies Ubud, a place where modern life slows down without permission. Here, mornings begin with the sound of roosters instead of alarms. Yoga mats replace office chairs. And jungle air replaces traffic noise. Ubud is where travelers come, and sometimes never leave. But beneath its peaceful surface, Ubud carries centuries of artistic tradition. Wood carving, painting, dance, and spiritual healing are not hobbies here. They are inherited identities. Walk through the streets and you'll find artisans shaping wood with tools passed down through generations. Every carving tells a story of gods, demons, ancestors, and balance. Just outside Ubud lies one of Bali's most breathtaking landscapes, the Tagalalang rice terraces. Layer after layer of green fields cascade down the hills like nature's staircase. Farmers still use ancient irrigation systems called subak, a UNESCO-recognized method that blends agriculture with spiritual philosophy. Here, even farming is sacred. But Bali's beauty is not only peaceful. It is also powerful. And nowhere is that power more visible than its volcanoes. 3. Fire and Earth, Mount Batur. At the heart of Bali rises Mount Batur, an active volcano that reminds everyone that paradise is never completely calm. Long before sunrise, travelers begin climbing in darkness. Flashlights cut through mist. Cold air bites the skin. Silence surrounds the mountain. And then, something incredible happens. The sun rises above the clouds, revealing a world of gold, orange, and endless sky. Below, Lake Batur reflects the sky like a mirror. For a moment, everything feels suspended in time. This is not just a view. It is a transformation. But Mount Batur also tells a deeper story. It reminds Bali that beauty and danger are not opposites. They are neighbors. And this balance between peace and power defines the island itself. Now we descend from the mountains, toward the coastlines where Bali reveals another identity. 4. The coast, surf, chaos, and freedom. The southern coast of Bali feels like a different world entirely. In places like Kuta, life moves fast. Surfboards line the sand. Motorbikes weave through traffic. Music spills from beach bars into the ocean breeze. This is where many travelers first meet Bali. And for some, it is all they ever see. But Kuta is only the surface. A few kilometers away lies Uluwatu, where cliffs rise dramatically above the Indian Ocean. Here, waves crash against limestone walls with unstoppable force. At sunset, the sky burns orange while surfers chase perfect waves below. Above them sits Uluwatu Temple, guarded by monkeys believed to protect sacred grounds. Every evening, a traditional Kecak fire dance is performed here. Hundreds of voices chant in rhythm as flames flicker against the night sky. It feels less like entertainment, and more like stepping into a living myth. But beyond the beauty and culture, Bali is also changing rapidly. And not everyone agrees on what that change means. 5. The modern paradise dilemma. Over the past decade, Bali has transformed into one of the world's top travel destinations. Digital nomads, influencers, entrepreneurs, and dreamers have all arrived. Cafes now serve smoothie bowls and specialty coffee. County working spaces replace fishing villages. Luxury villas rise where forests once stood. For many locals, this brings opportunity. For others, it brings pressure. Traffic increases. Land prices rise. Traditions face modernization. Bali stands at a crossroads. Can a paradise stay paradise when the world discovers it? Or does popularity slowly change what made it special in the first place? The answer is not simple. Because Bali is not just a destination. It is a living system, constantly adapting, surviving, and redefining itself. And yet, despite all change, its spirit remains untouched. You still see it in morning offerings, in temple ceremonies, in the quiet smiles of locals, and in the sound of waves that have not changed for thousands of years. Why Bali stays in your memory? People don't just visit Bali. They remember it. Even years later. Not because of one single landmark, but because of how it makes them feel. In Bali, you wake up differently. You notice light differently. You breathe differently. It forces you to slow down in a world that never stops moving. And maybe that is its real secret. Bali is not perfect. It is not untouched. It is not frozen in time. It is alive. And that is what makes it unforgettable. So whether you come for adventure, or healing, or escape, you will leave with something you didn't expect. A memory that doesn't fade. And a question that stays with you long after you leave: was Bali a place you visited, or a place that changed you? If you enjoyed this journey into the heart of Bali, then don't just stop here. There are countless stories waiting to be uncovered across the world, hidden cultures, forgotten places, and landscapes that defy imagination. Subscribe for more cinematic documentaries that take you beyond the surface of travel, and into the soul of places. Because the world is not just meant to be seen. It is meant to be understood. And Bali was only the beginning.